Hello everyone, welcome back to this channel. Let's continue our series Intro to SQL. Okay, as of now we have understood how to import BigQuery and how to connect with big data sets, right? Then we understood some SQL keywords, select from query, and we did some SQL commands to fetch data from any particular database. Okay, now today we are going to understand these keywords group by, having, and count. First read the tutorial, then we will do the exercise. Okay. Now, group by, having, and count. Introduction. Now you can select raw data that you are ready to learn how to group your data and count things within those groups. You have fetched the data. Now suppose you want to create a group on them, or you want to count how many cat is existing, how many rabbits are there. Like this, you can count things. You can group the things. So for that you need these keywords. Okay? Suppose your question is how many of each kind of fruit has our store sold? How many apples, how many oranges? So for that you have to count how many species of animal has the weight of is treated. So you have to count the species of animal. Okay. So now to do this, you will learn about these three new techniques. Group by, having, count. So for that, you remember this table we used last time? ID, name and animal. Okay, type of animal. Now first understand what is count function. As you may have guessed from the name that it returns a count of things exactly. If you pass it the name of a column, it will return the number of entries in that column. So if you give count and the name, then it will tell you how many entries are there on the column. Or simply we can say how many rows are there in that column. If I write count of ID, then it will count 1, 1, 1, 1, total 4. If I give count of name, then it will count 1, 2, 3, 4. Same way, whatever the name I pass, inside the count function, it will give you the total number of entries, total number of rows, total number of that particular data. Okay. Now suppose if we select count of the ID column, then it will return 4. We have just counted. It will take it as 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So select count of ID from the table name. Select from, you remember, select only those columns which you want to see and from the table name. Okay. Now count is an example of an aggregate function which takes many values and returns one. It is taking many values because all the values are taking, but it is giving output as only one value, that is total number of count. That's why they are told as aggregate function, takes many values, returns one. Other examples of functions include sum, average, mean, max. You can sum them, you can find the maximum, you can find the minimum, you can calculate the average. All these things will take many values, right? But will give you one single value. You try any of the functions, max will give you one number, mean will give you one number, same for average, same for sum. So that's why they are known as aggregate function. So what is an aggregate function? Which takes many values and returns one. What are the examples? Count, sum, average, mean, max. Okay. Now as you will notice in the picture above, aggregate function introduced strange column names. See the output. From where did it get the output? Because whenever you apply something on aggregate, it automatically gives you this kind of column names. But we can change this type of column names to something else. Like you can give your own name, you can give some nickname, some unique name as per your wish. Okay, for this aggregate function. So for that we will use one keyword called as, but that we will discuss later. Fine. Next topic is group by. So group by takes the name of one or more columns and treats all rows with the same value in that column as a single group. Like see, you can say that rabbit is a group, dog is a group, cat is a group. Maybe there are many number of cats, right? But it will come under one single group. Fine. Let's see the example. Suppose you want to know how many type of each animal we have in the pets table. We can use group by function to group together rows that have the same value in the animal column. So by using the animal column, we can group. For that, we have to write, select which one you want to see from the table name, group by animal. So you are grouping by animal. So you are grouping by this one. So what happens? Let me draw it for you. Here it will be rabbit. Sorry for this. Next, next one group will be created for dog. Next, cat. So again one group will be created for cat. This way every animal will be grouped. Okay. If there are more than one rabbit, whatever the number, 3, 4, but it will come under one group. Okay. Like rabbit, there will be all these three names. Like here, this is Harris. So the name will be Harris. Okay. This is how SQL query is executed. So dog here means the name is Moon. Fine. Name of cat, Replay and Top. So this will come under same group, Replay and Tom. Okay. So this is how it is grouped because you have grouped by animals. This is a group, this is a group, this is a group. Now when you write, select animal and count ID. These are the column you want to see. Animal means the animal column will be selected, this one. So it will be printed, sorry. So it will be printed. Fine. Next is you are giving ID, count of ID. So here you can see that count for this one is 1. So count will be 1. Count for this one is 1. Count for this one is 2. So it will be okay. So now what will be the output? Now your output will be animal and count ID. This is animal, this one is animal, this one is count ID. Okay. So you can see animal, count ID. See rabbit, dog, cat. So rabbit 1, dog 1, cat 2. Okay. So you understand how it is executed, and order of execution I will tell you after the next example. Fine, you understand what group by does here. Okay. Now when you are using the having keyword with the group by, then you impose a condition. Okay, you are adding a condition. Like suppose the query is I want to include only those animals which are appearing more than once. That means they have more than one ID in them. So more than one ID which animal has, you can easily say that is cat. So our output will be cat. Okay. Now my query is I want to see the animal, I want to see the count ID. Fine. From the table name. Group by animal. So first what I am doing here, I am grouping by this way. Is it fine? Next, I have added having count ID greater than 1. That means one more condition is imposed, that is count ID. This one is greater than 1. So only this row meets the criteria. So all this will not be fetched anymore. It will be deleted. Fine. So your output will contain cat, the count of ID. Now which column will be shown? You have selected them animal count ID. So it will be animal name this column and count ID this column. So cat show. See here. Okay. So you understand how it is executed. Now one thing is not told here but I will tell you, that is query order of execution. While studying many other keywords you will be able to understand better, but for now just understand this is the way it is executed. Whenever you are giving the SQL query, how it is executed? Do you think that first SQL select is executed, then from, then where? No, that is not possible. How it will connect like that? So first from is executed, that means from which table. So you have to come here. First it will be executed, the first line from the table. So you are connecting with the table, you are taking the data from the table, that is said. Now the second one is where. We have not given where condition, so we are not discussing right now. Next we are discussing group by. So it will go to this group by. Okay. So now it will first group by as per the animals. So the database is first selected. Now I am grouping by animals. Okay. So if I now I am grouping by this animal. So group is created, right? So sorry, I deleted the name, but names will be here. Okay, no problem. After that, having count ID greater than 1. After that, after group by, next column is having. So after group by is done, now it will go to the having part. So having count ID. So here the count will be again done. This is 1, this is 1, this is 2, and names will be there. So now they are checking the having condition. So having count ID greater than 1, that is perfectly okay. That is fine. These things are not meeting the criteria. So now my data has this one only. The cat, the name of the cat, and the count ID. After having, sorry, after having you can select. So now it will go to select. So now it will select only those columns which you want to see. You want to see animal and count ID. So you are removing these columns also. Now you are left with this one and this one. So your output will be cat and 2. I hope now it's completely clear to you. Okay. So it's not like that it will start from the select and will end by the end statement. Not like that. There is an order of execution. This one. When we will do more number of examples, this will help you a lot to understand how it is happening. First, it will connect with from. Then, if there is any where condition, after that, group by, it will aggregates the base data. It will group the data. Then we will give having. Having giving means it's a kind of filter on the aggregated data. I am filtering that I want only them which are more than 2. Or I can do the opposite also. Suppose I want to know only them which are existing ones, only one. So what I can do? I will write equals to 1. Then it will be changed. What will be the output? You tell me what will be the output. Dog, the rabbit, they are appearing ones. Okay, so you are just giving the condition or you are filtering the aggregated data. Okay, after that you will go to select statement. Now, these things we have not learned yet. Okay, this is the order of execution. Fine. Now let's do one more example. Which hacker news comments generated the most discussion? Okay, now ready to see an example on a real data set. Hacker news, you know, that is a data set, social networking site. Social networking site, they have just created the connection. We have discussed this many times, and also they have converted it to a data frame. Fine. Now let's do some queries on this. Let's use the table to see which comment generated the most replies. Okay, that means someone has commented, and on that comment, many other people has commented. So now your job is to find which comment is most interesting to people, on which comment most of the people have replied. Got it? Now see here. Title, URL, text, date, by, score, time, timestamp, type, ID, parent, descendants, ranking, deleted. Okay, so see here, id is id is on which id is the comment of sorry id of any comment. Whoever is giving any comment, every comment has an id. Perfect. And parent is that you are commenting on some comment, so you are commenting on which comment, that is the parent. Okay, so one parent may have many ids. You get my point? I'm telling you again, every comment has an equal id, and every comment is against some parent comment. Okay, so any parent comment can have many IDs on that. Okay, what is our job right now? To find which parent ID has got the maximum number of comments. Okay, so you have to count the ID and you have to find which parent has the maximum number of ID. Clear? Now see, the parent column indicates the comment that was replied to. I told you ID column has the unique ID to identify each comment. Okay. Now we can group by the parent column and count the ID column. As I said you, see, parent comma count ID. Tell me which one will be executed first. This one. From. After that, group by. Then having. Then you will select. Fine. Let's do it one by one. We can group by the parent column. First, you have to group by parent column because there are some parent columns and we have to find which parent column has got the maximum number of ID. So first you have to group by parent column. Okay, so you will first take this one and you will check how many are inside this parent column, how many IDs are inside this parent column. Okay, so I can't show you the drawing, but I hope you can imagine that first there will be the parent column against this, like this one. Suppose this is the parent column and against this there may be many IDs like this. Okay. Now next you take the second parent ID column, the second parent ID column, and against that column you may have many IDs. Okay. And after you write in this way, after you group by this way, you have to find which one has most number of ID. Okay, now let's see here. So we can group by the parent column, count the ID column to figure the number of comments that were made as responses to a specific comment. Fine. Furthermore, since we are only interested in popular comments, we will look at comments with more than 10 applies. That means they are giving you some more condition. So they are filtering your aggregated data. By which? By checking whether the comments is more than 10. Okay, so the most popular comments. So you have to give a having clause, having more than 10 IDs. Okay, so the query will be like this. Select the column name you want to see from the table name. Group by, you have to group by. I said you have to group by parent. That's what you want to check. Then they are giving you a condition. So having count of ID greater than 10. And here you print the count of ID. Okay, so how it is happening? First, it will be grouped by parent, different parent ID. Under that, there will be some number of IDs of any comments. Then you check the having column, that count ID greater than 10. So you will check that which one has greater than 10. So you are again filtering the data. After that, you select the parent column, count ID column. So you will select this parent column and you will select this count of ID column. Okay, so you are counting this total number of ID you are counting whenever you are passing count bracket ID. That means total number of ID will be counted. So you will get here like 5 or 6 or 7. You are getting the count ID and you are doing the filtering. So if it is greater than 10, then only you are selecting. So you have parent ID and you have maybe 10 count ID, 11 count ID, 12 count ID. Okay, because they are satisfying the condition. Now you are printing, you are selecting this parent ID and this count ID. Okay, fine. They have not given the output. They have given the output. See, parent and this count ID. So this is the parent name. I told you this is the way they have grouped. So first group, this will be there. This column. Sorry, this number. And inside this, they have 175 ID. That means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like 175. Okay. After that, they have applied the count function. So they have counted all those ID. And they have found that it is 175. Then they have applied the conditions having count ID greater than 10. Yes, the condition is matched. So this data is filtered. This 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 way they have filtered many. Okay. And then they are selecting the parent and count ID. I hope I am able to make it you clear. If not, let me know in the comment section. I will take other examples and I will explain. Okay. Fine. Now it is about aliasing. I told you that suppose see the output. See, it is not looking good, right? Because it can't convey which one, what it is trying to say. So this name you can change by giving as column, where you are writing like this. So if you write as keyword, not column, sorry, as keyword, then you are giving any name, your ways. You can choose the name, okay? So now the output will be like this. So they will not give you any string number, instead it will give you this. That's what they wanted to say. Fine. Now they have given a note. Note is that it tells you how to apply aggregate function. Like count, it doesn't make sense to group by without an aggregate function. Similarly, if you have any group by clause, then all variables must be passed to either a group by command or an aggregate function. Consider the query below. There are two variables, parent ID. Parent was passed to group by command and ID was passed to an aggregate function. And this query won't work because the author column is not passed to an aggregate function or a group by clause. For the next one. Oh, that means you just you're fetching the data that must be either in group by column or maybe in count column. Here ID column is inside the count and parent is inside the group by column. Fine. Suppose you give one called author. Just see this one. This is the author name given by. Now if we try to print this, see this one. If you try to print this, how will it print? Because you can imagine here in the parent, you have so many IDs. So which author you will print here? So that's why Either you have to pass it to group by command or you have to pass it to ID. So you have to make sure that whatever you are providing after select, that is either using for group by or it is using for um, the count column. Okay. So it will, if I make this error select, you will get the error message. Okay. Now you may notice by column is surrounded by backticks. This is by because by is a reserved keyword including group by. In BigQuery, reserved keyword used as identifier must be quoted in backticks to avoid an error. This is because this is a reserved keyword, so that's why it must be given as an in the backticks. Okay, you can see it is also given inside the backticks. Fine. Now let's do the coding exercise. See, queries with group by can be powerful. So first do the setup. After that, this is just to import the BigQuery. Okay, this is the table name. Now prolific commenters. Hacker News would like to send awards to everyone who has written more than 10,000 posts. So you have to write a query with authors more than 10,000 posts. So you have to first group by author. So you have to group by this column. Then you have to count the total ID. So total post exactly. If it is greater than 10,000, then they will get the award. Okay. So call the column name with post count num post. So we can just copy it, copy this one and paste it here. So now we have to group by, we have to group by author name. So select, we have to keep the by in backtick. So keep the backtick because it is a reserved keyword. What happened? Okay, I'll give it a name, alias name. So I can give it a author underscore name and then count one. That is count of them, count of one or count of ID, whatever you want, you can write. See, because you are counting everything, right? Like how many they have written. So by author name and it is greater than 10. Now if I run it, let's see what is the output. Okay, you see. First it will be grouped by author name, JBR, whatever the author name is. Then under this author name, it's like first it will take first author, second author, third author, and inside the first author there will be the total number of posts. So it will be counted total number of posts. Okay, now you have given a count greater than 10. That means it will be again filtered based on number of posts greater than 10. Okay. So now you can send them awards. The column names appear to be incorrect. It has to be author. Author. It takes time. Sorry for that. Only select authors with more than 10,000 posts. You have not read this. Well, this is like said, no, you have to send awards to them who has written more than 10,000 posts. Okay, perfect. Now deleted comments. How many comments have been deleted? If a comment was deleted, the deleted column in the table will have the value true. So number of deleted posts. That is whether you have to know about this one. Okay. So total number of deleted posts. So we can write this way. Select. Let's write in capital letter. Though capital letter is not mandatory. Select and will edit. What is you want to see? Count table name is fine. Group by. No, here there will be no group by because we are using a condition. So we can write where where the column name that is deleted. You have to give the proper column name. Otherwise, the condition will not be checked. So where deleted equals to true. Fine. Then you have to select count of one. That means give the total count. This as you can give a name also. So okay. So now if I run it, what happened? Oh, okay, we have to print this, right? So we can, uh, we will edit here. So we can just copy, write it. Now query job equal to, this is the name. You just have to write the name here. Everything is fine. Query underscore job dot to data frame. Now we want to print this one. Sorry, now I want to print this one. Okay, now if I run it, will it be okay? I don't know why it is showing incorrect, but it is giving you the output. These are the total number of deleted posts. This is fine. How many comments have been deleted? If a comment was deleted, the deleted column in the table will have the value true. So that's what we have done here. Okay, if you can find any error, please let me know in the comment section. So we are done. So whatever things we have learned, let's revise this. As of now, we have understood what is select command, what is select keyword, what is from keyword, where to use the where keyword. Then we understand the count, what is the function of count, then group by, and also how to filter more on the group by, that is having. Okay, and we have also learned the as keyword. Okay, so these things we have learned as of now. And also we understood the query order of execution, because it will help you to build a query and to also understand that what is happening inside. Like whenever we are giving where, what is happening, whenever we are giving group by, and how in which order these are getting executed. Okay, so I hope you have liked the class, and let me know your feedback. Let's meet on our next session. Till then, bye. Happy learning.